Hello, welcome back, students. So let's continue with our chapter, that is light. So this will be the third part. So yesterday we discussed about the image formation, and I have given you 4 rules for the image formation of concave mirror, and we have discussed about the positioned if the object is at infinity. Okay, positioned. The first one we discussed was if the object is at infinity. Okay, infinity. So this is for the position of object. So you have to remember that for concave mirror we will have 6 position. Okay, 6 positioned. So we are done with the first one, that is infinity. And then before we continue, let me give you an example. Suppose like in the mirror, okay, in the mirror, if you are very far, then the image that you will see in the mirror would be very small, tiny, right? But as you come a little closer, then the size will increase. As you come a little closer, then the size will increase, right? And there will be a point of time when the size of the image as well as the size of the object would be same. Okay, when I say object, you take example as yourself. Okay, so the image you see in the mirror will be the same, and then at some point of time when you come very close to the mirror, then the image would be like very large. Clear? So you take the example in this way. So we started off with the position of object which was at very far, example like sun. So we have considered it as infinity. Okay, and then we got the size of the image, which we got the size of image was yesterday. Do you remember? We got a point size image, a point size image, right? A point size image. And then we got the intersection. I told you that 2 reflected rays should coincide and should intersect to get a real image. So we got an intersection, right? So we'll say that it is a real image, and if it's real image means it is inverted. And we got the image at F, at focus. Clear? So now today let's see if the object is at beyond C. Okay, so now let's say this is our ray diagram. Okay, so this is our concave mirror, and now we have the principal axis here. Okay, so this is our principal axis, this is the pole, and then this is our focus, this is our center of curvature. Clear? So now the second, that means the object is beyond C. Okay, the position of the object is beyond C. Now we are not at infinity, we have come a little closer, but it is beyond C. So let's say that this is the object. Okay, this is the person. So we will represent it with AB. Okay, so this is the head part is the A, and then the tail part is the B. Clear? So now we will apply the rules. So let's apply the first rule. Now if a ray of light comes and if a ray of light that is parallel with the principal of axis hits the mirror, then it will pass through the focus. That was the first rule, right? So now let's say this is our ray of light. Okay, this is our ray of light. So now this is parallel with the principal of axis, right? So now after hitting the mirror, it passes through focus. Okay, it will pass through focus. Clear? So this is the first, this is one ray. Okay, one ray of light. Now to get an image, two reflected ray should intersect. Okay, 2 reflected ray should intersect. So now let us apply another rule. Okay, so let's apply the third rule. The third rule that I discussed yesterday was if a ray of light passes through this C, then it will go back. It will go back to its own place. So now let's apply the third rule. So see, students, Now a ray of light, it goes back and then it comes back. So we have to signify it with this direction, okay? It goes back and it comes back. So now we have two rays of light. So students, do you see any intersection? Where do you see the intersection? Now we see the intersection here, right? We see two clashes. Two rays of light are clashing here. So that means if we get this type of intersection, we'll say that it is real image. And real image means it is always inverted. Okay, inverted means ulta. Okay, locally we'll say ulta. See, since it is inverted, now the head part would be here. So I'll write A and then B. Clear? So students, this is the second condition. When the position of the object is at beyond C, that means we are getting an image. Where? We are getting the image between C and F. So that means the position would be, the position of image would be between C and F, right? See, this point is located between C and F. Okay, now what about the size of the image? Now the size of the image is, see, this is our object, right? And the image that we get is this much. That means the image is smaller than the object, right? The image which you are seeing in the mirror is smaller than the object. So we'll say it is diminished. The size is diminished. Clear? The size is diminished. And then since we got the intersection, right? We got the intersection, we will say it is real inverted. Okay, I've just written Ri. Now, the R means real, I means inverted. See, this is an inverted image. Clear? So now, see, we started from infinity, right? And then now we are at here, and now it's the third case. So now the object will be here at C. Clear? Okay, so students, now we'll start with our third condition, that is if the position of the object is at C. So now our object will be at C, okay, at C. That means this is our focus, right? So the C is here, right? So the C is here. So now the object is standing here, okay? The object is standing here. So now when you are standing at C, okay, remember this is the only condition where you will get the image, okay? So this is the image. You will get the image same size. Before we have seen that the image becomes a little smaller than the object, right? But this is the only condition where you'll get the same size. The image would be same size as the object. Clear? And now see, the object is where? The object is at C, right? So where did we get the image? The image is also at C. So the position of image is at C. Clear? Now student, did we get the intersection or not? So we get the intersection here, students. That means yes, it is real inverted image. Clear? Whenever we are getting an intersection, that means it is real inverted image. That means this can be caught in a screen. Clear? So now we are done with the first three. Now we have reached here. Okay, now we'll place the object between C and F. Okay, we are coming very closer, like to the mirror. Clear? Okay, so students, now the position of the object would be, so far we have done till here, right? So now we'll stand between C and F. Okay, so if this is our object, then we'll write the position of the object is between C and F. Okay, that means between center of curvature and F, right? It is very clear from this diagram, right? The object, that means you consider this one as U, okay? So our object is here. Okay, so now let's apply the rule. So now, if a ray of light parallel with the principal axis hits the mirror, then it will pass through the focus, right? And we have to show this direction. Now let's apply another rule. If a ray of light, if it passes through the focus, it becomes parallel. The second rule, okay? If a ray of light, if it passes through the focus, okay? If it passes through the focus, then it becomes parallel. Clear? See, it becomes parallel. So it goes down and it becomes parallel, okay? Then the intersection will be here. So students, see, we are getting an image here, A, B. So this is an inverted image, A, B here. So we are getting an image, but do you see the difference? Now, the image which we are getting is larger than the object, right? See, the AB here is just this much, but now the image which we are getting in the mirror is this much. That means the size of the image is magnified. Clear? And students, did we got the intersection or not? We got the intersection here. We got, see, this is one ray of light and this is the second ray of light. So both of them, then they got clashed here, right? So that means we'll say that it is real and inverted. Clear? Real inverted image. Okay, so students, now I'm sure you are getting the concept. We are coming like very closer. This is the fourth condition, right? First we started with infinity, then beyond C, then we started at C, and then now this is between the one which we have drawn just now is between C and F. So now this is the fifth one, okay? This is the fifth one will stand at the focus. Okay, now focus C, it's here, so now it will be at focus. So altogether we have 6 ray diagram for concave mirror. So now we are clear with the fourth one. So the next which we will discuss is about the fifth one. Okay, so students, now the position of the object would be at F. Okay, so this is our mirror. So now we are going to stand here. Okay, so this is you. Okay, this is, so we are going to stand here, students. Now let's see. Let's apply the first rule. Okay, let's apply the first rule. A ray of light parallel with the principle of axis, once it hits the mirror, would pass through the focus. Right. Now, students, let's apply the last rule, the fourth rule. We can apply any rule, okay, you'll get the same answer, but let's try out different one. So now, if a ray of light, that is the fourth rule, incident at the pole, after hitting the mirror, it will become like it will get reflected to the other side of the principal axis. Okay, so that means we'll get here like this. So students, do you see these two parallel lines? That means at some point of time, okay, at some point of time we are going to get an image, but which we cannot draw in here. Clear? So we'll just write infinity. Okay, now this type of image we will say it is highly magnified. Clear? This type of image will say it is highly magnified because we know that at some point of time we are going to get an image. Clear? Or we'll say it is highly enlarged. Clear? Highly magnified or highly enlarged. And this is where we are getting the image. We are getting the image this side, right? So it will be still real and inverted. Clear? So students, now I'm sure you are clear with the first 5 conditions that we have discussed. Now we are going to discuss about the last condition. Okay, that means, see students, we are done so far till F. Clear? Our object is at F. Now that means the last one is we have to come again a little closer. We should stand between P and F. Okay, that means P means pole and F. So we are going to stand between these two. So students, now this is the 6th one, okay, the 6th condition, and this is different from the first 5 what we have drawn. And this question, usually like we see in the question paper, okay, they ask something related with this question, with this condition. That means if we are coming very close to the mirror, so we have the pole here, we have the focus here, and then we have the center of curvature. So students, we have the position of the object should be between P and F. That means we are going to stand here. Clear? See, this is the object, right? A, B. So now we are very close now. See, we started our journey all over from the infinity, right? But now you see, now we are at very close to the pole of the mirror. Now, when a ray of light, okay, so this is the ray of light that is parallel to the principal of axis. Which is the principal axis? This line, right? Then it will after hitting the mirror, it will pass through the focus. Clear? Now let's apply the 4th rule. That is, if a ray of light that is incident on the pole of the mirror, then after hitting the mirror, it will pass through the other side of the principal axis, that is that will follow and obey the law of conservation of mass. So it will pass through here. Clear? So now this will not be a parallel and we will not be able to get the image here. Clear? We will not be able to get the image here, my dear students. So now we are not going to get an image in the front of the mirror. It will appear as if the image is we are getting the coincide, the clash from here. Clear? So students, do you see the difference in the last diagram? Now in the last diagram, when the object is very close to the mirror, now we are not getting the image on the front of the mirror, but we are getting the image on the behind the mirror. Clear? See, the image is behind the mirror. And students, like from here, can you make out that it is real inverted or it is virtual erect? It is erect, right? It is straight. See, it is straight. So now we'll say that the nature of the image is virtual erect. Clear? And where are we getting the image? On the front or behind? So we are getting behind the mirror. Clear? Behind the mirror. And students, what about the image? Is it like larger than the object or not? See, our object is this much and then the image out there is larger, right? So we'll say it is magnified. Okay, so students, this is all. These are the 6 conditions, but now you have to remember that in concave mirror, when the object is between F and P, this is the only condition where we get a virtual erect image. Okay, the first 5 was all the image we got this side, right? We got on the front of the mirror. But the last one, when the object is between the P and F, is the only condition where we get a virtual erect image. Okay, so please keep that in mind, and students, you have to practice at home. Okay, you have to practice at home. These are every year they ask this type of question. Okay, so keep that in mind. So we'll continue with the next part in the next class. Thank you so much.